All right, let's go ahead and do an ab workout routine together today. We're gonna do it nice and slow. This is gonna be perfect for anybody who's had abdominal surgery. Now make sure that you're in the accepted exercise time frame. So if your doctor has told you, wait 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, it might be different depending on what kind of surgery you've had. Make sure you listen to your doctor before starting any sort of exercise program. But this one is gonna help us kind of reconnect our mind and abdominal muscles because it's a lot to go through any sort of abdominal surgery. I had ileostomy surgery, which means they took out my entire large intestine, and now I have an ileostomy bag. Let me show you, just because I think scars are cool, and let's share that. So I had ileostomy surgery 4 years ago now, and I was able to have it done laparoscopically. Let me see. My scars have healed very well. So this is my ileostomy bag. I also had my appendix taken out beforehand, and so you'll see I have that kind of scar. So I have done abdominal healing exercises twice now for both of these surgeries, and these were moves that really helped me regain that mind-muscle connection and also really helped me feel like I got my core strength back. We're gonna do these moves nice and gentle today, nice and slow. Work at your own pace, breathe through everything, and if you feel that anything is hurting at any time, please don't do it. So again, once your doctor's cleared you to exercise, come on back and do this video with me and do this, several days a week. This is really gonna help you regain that strength in your core and learn how to kind of reignite those muscles again. Okay, so we're gonna get started. All you need is a yoga mat or a blanket or carpet. If all you have is carpet, no worries, that's just fine. But I like to have a yoga mat. I feel like it feels better on my joints. So let's go over and lay down on our mat. Let's start on the floor and be very careful getting down there. Okay, we're gonna start off with our legs up like this, and we're just gonna focus on some breathing. So I want you to really think about the muscles that you're using. So we're gonna breathe in. I just breathed out. All right, you're gonna take a nice deep breath in and a nice slow deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay, on these next breaths, I want you to feel like you're kind of pulling your ab muscles back towards your spine, okay? So I want you to think squeeze and tighten, and you're gonna do that on the exhale, okay? So we're gonna breathe in together, expand the belly. You see how my belly is rising? And then breathe out. Contract those muscles and squeeze and hold and let go. All right, we're gonna breathe normally in between each rep that we do. So whenever you are doing these breathing exercises, I like to have my hands on my belly so that I can feel where I should be contracting. Does that make sense? So again, I'm gonna breathe in, expand that belly, and breathe out, and we're gonna squeeze. Now squeeze those ab muscles, hold it in for 3, 2, 1, and release. Just normal breaths in between. Make sure that you're thinking about what muscles you're working, because even if those muscles aren't quite firing yet, when you think about what ones you're using, your brain's going to connect to them a little bit quicker. All right, we're gonna go into the next move here, which is pelvic tilts. So still kind of that same position. I want you to think about breathing in and then breathe out. We're going to just tilt our pelvis. It's a really small movement. So tilt it, squeeze, and then untuck. All right, we're going to tuck the pelvis in, squeeze, and then roll it back out, untuck. You almost want to kind of press your lower back into the floor too, that kind of helps. So again, I'm gonna just have my hands up here, or you can have them down by your side just like this. And then you're going to tilt that pelvis, rock it up, squeeze. I'm flattening my lower back into the floor, and that really helps me engage all of these muscles right here. And then you're going to relax, and untuck. Let's do it one more time. We're going to rotate our pelvis, tuck, squeeze, and let it all out. Ah, there we go. All right, let's go ahead and move into this next move here. We're actually gonna let our legs, our knees, fall to one side and only go as far as you feel comfortable. So I'm going to let my knees drop to the right, just about halfway, okay? I start to feel it in my abs. You don't wanna feel pain, you just wanna feel a little bit of that stretch. And then you're gonna think about those ab muscles and bring those knees back up, okay? Try to use your abs doing that. All right, we're gonna let those knees fall to the other side. And about halfway is all I can make it, that's totally fine. And squeeze it back up. So you're just sort of letting gravity take the knees and then using that core to squeeze it back to the center, just like that. Make sure we're breathing throughout all of this and squeeze back to the center. Are you feeling it in your abs? If you're not, try to think of it. Going to the right, squeezing back to center, and one more time to the left. And squeezing back to center. Very good. We're gonna do a little variation on those pelvic tilts, and that little skill is gonna help us do this next move. So the next move we're gonna do is called glute bridge. So what we're going to do is we're gonna do that same thing that we did with the pelvis, okay? We're gonna rock it up, and then vertebrae by vertebrae, you want to lift up and squeeze, and then do the same thing backwards. So we're going to roll vertebrae by vertebrae, one down until it's on the ground. Now you notice how everything we're doing, let's do it again, is nice and slow. Very slow, intentional movement, keeping that back nice and flat, and back down. Rolling it up, one at a time. Nice and slow movements help you to think about all of those little muscles along the way. Now you should be feeling this. One more time, up, all the way through your core and your glutes, maybe even into your legs a little bit. Back down, I said one more time, let's do one more. All the way up, nice and squeeze, and back down. Very good. We're gonna do this next move here, which I am just calling it a walkout. I feel like that's kind of the best way to describe it. But see how our knees are bent up right now? What we're gonna do is you're gonna walk one leg out after the other, and we're gonna kind of make it go down to the floor. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so we're gonna take our right leg and just walk it out to the heel a little bit. The left one follows. Your right leg's gonna go all the way to the ground, and the left one follows. Now let's do the reverse back. Right leg up, left leg halfway up, right leg all the way up, and left leg all the way up. All right, let's do it together. We'll go halfway right, halfway left. All the way right, all the way left. Halfway right, halfway left, all the way up right, all the way up left. Now you're gonna feel it mostly in your abs when you are doing the different transitions, right? You're gonna feel it mostly whenever we're walking our legs out, and I feel it the main way is when it's like halfway between, I don't know what I'm trying to say. All right, walking it out, out, all the way, half, half, all the way, all the way. Now this one is really good. I can feel it as I'm shifting my weight to each leg. You should feel this in your lower abs. And again, if anything hurts, don't do it. Just focus on doing either your pelvic tilts or your breathing. And that's something that you can do until we get to that next move. Let's go ahead and do one more all the way out and all the way back in. And here's the last time. Up, up, and all the way up. Very good. We're gonna go ahead and roll onto our sides now. So you just wanna drop those legs and carefully get up onto the side. Okay, I'm gonna scoot back so I'm all the way on my yoga mat here. And we're gonna do side planks. Now, if this is something that's too much for you, don't push it, it'll be fine. This is something that you can kind of work up into as you feel stronger as we're going along. All right, so I have my elbow right underneath my shoulder and my knees. You can see that I have my legs tucked behind me. I'm gonna actually extend the top one so that it's down on the floor there. We're gonna be having most of our weight be on the knee and your forearm here, okay? So as we're going along, you can either have your hand in front of you or on your hip, and we're gonna go ahead and lift up and squeeze and gently back down. Now this is one that I had to kind of work up to, so don't be afraid if you're shaking. That, I mean, even still, like, I seem to shake all the way through it. But you just want to make it a nice little movement. We're lifting our hips off the ground and then just kind of resting back down. A little more advanced move is going to be just barely hitting the ground and back up, barely hitting the ground and back up. Now you can work your way up to that full side plank, but I think this is good for us today, right? Let's go ahead and do the other side really quick. So I'm just going to sit up, swing those legs around, and do the other side. All right, so we're getting into position. On the side, we have our one leg, top leg stretched all the way out, bottom leg is bent in half, and then I'm gonna have my elbows right underneath my shoulders, and we'll go ahead and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Make sure you're breathing throughout all of this. We want to be gentle with ourselves as we're healing. Don't push it too hard because you'll always have tomorrow. We can always improve day by day, and anything that you do today, it all adds up. Little movements, little improvements, but most of the time, our minds are the ones that stop us. Your body can do a lot more than what your mind tells it. Let's do one more, and back down. Perfect, okay. I'm gonna have you lay down on the floor here, and we're gonna kind of be like side lying like this. We're gonna do a move called the clamshell. So we've got our legs and feet at a 90 degree, and you're just going to pivot that knee up, and see how my heels are touching? You're just going to open and close. This is going to help work your outside booty. So we are open and close. Now, even though we're working the booty and the side legs, you're gonna still feel it in your abs here. And I want you to sort of think of that. So any exercise that you do, even if you're just doing arm exercises or leg exercises, we're always using our core to stabilize us. And think about that in real life too. Anything you're doing when you're standing, you're using those ab muscles to help hold you upright. All right, one more. And back down. All right, we're gonna go and do the other side, which I should have done just right after, but I forgot. So here we are, real time. We're gonna go ahead and lay all the way down again. Hand on our heads. We've got 90 degrees for our knees and ankles, and then we're just going to go ahead and lift up the clamshell, and what am I doing? Open and close. Here we go, just rotating with your heels touching together. I love any sort of floor work, core moves. I feel like this is something that I can do when I'm watching another television program. It gives me something to do, to know that I'm working towards healing my abs, and also just feel a little bit healthier. All right, we'll do one more on this side, and down. Okay, we're gonna go ahead onto all fours now. So very carefully get up onto your hands and knees. I'm gonna have my hands below my shoulders, my knees below my hips, and you wanna have a nice flat back, okay? It'll probably feel good to do a little stretch, a little rocking. Just because you don't wanna be super tense, don't have your shoulders up by your ears, shake it out a little bit, okay? Whenever we have abdominal surgery, sometimes we can be so stiff in our shoulders and our upper back area because we feel like we're crunching against the pain, right? So or curling against the pain, right? So this is gonna kind of help to open it all up. So we're gonna do the cat-cow stretching, and then we'll get into some abdominal workouts. So you're gonna want to curl your belly down and your head up. Now only go as far as it doesn't hurt. What this might feel good is a little stretch among those ab muscles. And then blow that air out and curl up like this. Breathe in. Now we move very slowly between each of these moves. curl up. Now, they've always called this the cat-cow, which I understand the cat. I don't know if I understand the cow. All right, neutral spine, right in the middle here, just like this. This next move you may have heard of or seen before, and they call it the bird dog, but we're gonna slow it down and kind of break it into parts. So I want you to, you got your knees on the floor, you got both hands on your floor. I want you to take your right arm and extend it out in front of you while balancing on the other 3 limbs. Okay, so we're just gonna very carefully bring it out in front, just like that. Hold and set it back down. Let's go ahead and do the left arm. Left arm forward and back down. We're gonna go ahead and do the right leg next. Right leg out. Nice squeeze. Make sure it's not way up like this. I want you to keep your spine nice and neutral. Set it back down, and let's get that left leg out and set back down. Now the traditional bird dog I'm going to demonstrate for you here is where you put your opposite arm and leg straight out and then back down, and you switch to the other side and back down. If you feel like you are not ready for this yet, that's totally fine. Just stick to doing one arm up, the next arm up, one leg back, and the next leg back. Okay? So whichever variation you're at, no problem. Let's just go ahead and start right with it. So I'll lead with what arm we're doing so that we can kind of be on the same pace no matter which version you're doing. So we're gonna start off with our right arm, left leg. Out, hold, and back down. Are you shaking? Because I am. Left arm, right leg out, and back down. Nice and gently. We want to move through this exercise without rocking our hips too much, back and forth. Here we go. Opposite sides, reaching. I want you to feel like you are trying to get a little bit taller, okay? So reach through those fingertips, push back through those toes. We're all gonna be an inch taller when we leave here. This should feel really good throughout your whole core. Now your core is both your abdomen and your back. So that also includes our booty. All right, I lost count as usual, so let's go ahead and do one more on each side. And perfect. Okay, my moves are not perfect by any means, but I think that's what's good about this, you know, like we all start somewhere, and I may not be the most smooth instructor or whatever, but I feel like this really helps. This is also my time to give you a little bit of break before we go into the next move. But I feel like we all start somewhere, and exercising has been something that I really enjoy doing for myself. It helps my physical, but also my mental and emotional health too. And I feel like it's really important to not only feel stronger, but also be able to do your daily things a little bit easier, you know? So wherever you're starting today, just keep going, and you'll see the results in a few weeks even, you know? Like, just stick to whatever you start with. All right, let's go ahead and get back on our hands and knees. We had a nice little break there. Now this is gonna be a little advanced, okay? So you're gonna take your right arm forward and your left leg out if you can. You can also put your toe down just like this if you need to. We're going to crunch in, okay? So you're gonna crunch, meet your elbow and your knee out, and if you need to tap that toe, that's okay. Do what you can. Again, if you can't do this, you can have both arms down, stick that left leg out, and then just crunch it in, okay? See how my back arches up a little bit and then shoots back out? You're crunching in. All right, so let's go ahead, and if you are doing the modified version or the advanced version with your arm up here, we're going to go ahead and crunch in, breathe it out, and then extend. Okay, crunch and extend. Crunch, extend. We're only doing a few reps of this, so let's do 2 more on this side before we switch to the other. You always want to try to be equal on both. And I think I'll really know when I'm editing this, that was the last one, if we're equal on both sides or not. All right, left arm out, right leg out. You can hear my sweatiness, I'm sticking to the mat. All right, let's crunch it in and extend. Again, you want to really stretch through when we're extending. You want to reach with those fingertips and reach with those toes, crunching in and extending. Also, while we're extending, you don't want to let your belly just go like, ugh. You still want to keep everything nice and engaged. Let's do one more, because I lost count, of course. And put it back down. You want to keep your ab muscles engaged as we're doing all of these moves. And even if you don't feel them, think about them. And soon after you're doing these moves, for a couple weeks, you'll start to feel like, oh yeah, my abs are starting to respond a little bit more. It's feeling a little bit better. Who's ready for the last move? We got the last move and then a couple stretches. So we're gonna go down onto our belly. And this is why it's important to wait until you are healed to do this move here. We're gonna do the Superman, but I'm gonna do it just with the upper body here instead of traditionally, you see the Superman going like this. Okay, if you're not there yet, that's totally fine. You can even lift one arm up at a time. All right, we're gonna lift your right arm up and down. Left arm up and down. Now we're gonna lift the right leg. So right leg up and down, left leg up and down. Right arm up, down, left arm up, down, right leg up, down, left leg up, down. I'm like, what limb am I on? I don't know. We're gonna go one more time through the whole body here, because boy, do I feel it firing. And left leg, and down. All right, you ready for our next and final move? Push on back to child's pose, everyone's favorite. All right, we're just gonna sink in. I'm gonna walk my fingertips forward just to get a little bit more stretch in that back. That feels so good. Just breathe. Nice deep breaths. Breathe it all out. I know I said that was the last move, but let's stretch out those abs. Go onto the floor, and you can start off by just doing a little baby cobra and kind of work with your own body here, okay? So you can stretch up as far as you can until you start to feel those abs engage, or not engage, but stretch. Everybody's flexibility is going to be different here. You can breathe it down, you can take a few breaks if you want to. Maybe you can go all the way up. All right, let's go ahead, push on back. You did it, you guys. Yay. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how you feel. And thank you so much for working out with me. I hope that your healing process is quick and great, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.